All right. Hello, and this is the RPG Crawler. Welcome back to Heroes in the Mist, my Curse of Strahd / Ravenloft 5th edition D&D campaign. And we are currently on session 4, still in this haunted house area. We have Jared as Bellic Neth. We have John as Hannibal Bloodworth. We have Dan as Hames Ebonsmoke, and we have Alex as Javak, as usual. When last we left our heroes, they had just encountered a rather vicious pair. It was like a whole group of undead monstrosities while venturing around in the tunnels carved underneath a haunted house. So when we begin, we are basically in this area, in this little intersection here. That is where we left off. So, and I dropped my soda. Anyway, after such a fearsome battle, what do you guys do?
What's the situation for everyone on hit points? I'm at like half.
My hit points are cool, but I have exactly one level 1 spell left, which means I've got one heal, and I can do another after a short rest, but that's it.
We're gonna need to take a break soon.
Yes, I can hit myself for basically the 1d8 plus 2, and then take a short rest and do it again, or get healed. I'm at 5 hit points out of 22.
Okay, so we're pretty worn out at this point.
Yes, and after such a battle, it's no surprise, really. Keep in mind you've been
Daisy, but
yeah, you've been in this place for about 9.5 hours, counting your rest that you already took earlier.
I'm thinking we may need to take another one
You
if we stand
probably-
a chance of getting through here.
Yeah, I mean, we're low level. That's what happens is we fight for 5 seconds and then sleep.
Absolutely.
Right.
Like
It's
a
been a,
college
li
student.
been a little bit more, been a little bit more than 5 seconds, but
Wait, we had two
yeah.
good
And
fights.
also keep in mind, keep an eye on your food and water. I'm not sure where you are with that. Let me pop up your character sheets.
I've got, I believe, a week's worth on me.
Like a week's worth of water, or I think,
The food at least.
yeah, the food is not. Food should not be a problem. Water is always the problem. I trust everybody.
Water skin, so.
Yeah, a water skin will hold you for a full day, so you've got plenty of room to go on that, at least for now.
so the problem with trying to take another long rest depends on how strict to the 5th edition rules Rav wants to go, because you can only do that once in a 24-hour period according to the rules as written.
Right. And I would like to keep to that.
Okay.
Now
then
that
we're in a
doesn't.
pretty awkward position
So we
here.
can do a short rest, but
Yeah, that you
doesn't
could do
give
a.
everybody's-
You don't get your
everybody's
spells back
spells
and
up.
such.
Exactly.
But
And
then
we
again,
can't-
you're just mostly low on hit points.
Right, but one fight will wipe out most of our party.
Indeed.
Yeah, if we get into
with a
another...
short rest, people can spend hit dice to get hit points back, so there's that.
Yeah.
Where do we find the hit
We
dice
could
that we
take
have?
two. I mean, I could.
It's
get
just
a hit point,
you're level 1,
take
so
a
you've got
short rest,
1d whatever.
do it again, and then I'd be up close to max.
We're level 2.
But as you
Oh, level
sacrifice
2,
hit
you get-
dice for the day,
you still get,
your max is much lower.
You're level 2, so it's what, 2d12 now for the barbarian.
Oh, that's pretty
Yep.
nice.
He doesn't have to spend them both at the same time either. He can spend
Yeah.
one, see how well that does, and then if he still needs more, spend the other one.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's right. I am second level.
Yeah.
I am second level, so I get 2 of them. So I can spend 2 of them, and that should put me pretty close to being back. And I'd get him back after a short rest.
Well, if that's what we want to do.
Oh yeah, because he's a fighter. He's got second wind going on.
Let's find a reasonably defensible position. Maybe
Okay.
few entrances and exits, like this area here. That's only got one way in, or two ways in, two ways out. So
It's already got the beds for you.
there you go. How do we feel about that?
Well,
I
that's
don't mind.
I'm fine with that.
yeah, that's better than
Alright, well, let's move up there and
Okay.
back up for a little while and try to get some of our strength back.
I can
Alright.
even stay active because I don't really need the rest.
Yeah, you can provide watch then. I mean, would a short rest benefit you in any way?
I think that you can still hold watch while doing a short rest.
and a short rest would let me get my channel divinity back, which is a heal. You know, split 10 hit points among as many people as near. But
It's something.
yeah, it's better than nothing. But it is. I only have one more actual spell.
Yeah, we're going to be running pretty low on resources here. And we've been pretty good about spending them as far as I've been able to tell. Like, we haven't, like, oh, I stubbed my toe, cure wounds.
Yeah. I mean, there could be some adjustment in there, but you've been pretty decent so far.
I mean, I used an attack spell, but that probably saved me from having to use 2 healing spells because there was how much damage I
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's head into this room over here, and
If you
get
guys
set up.
need me to switch over to trying to be in the front line to try and help you guys out a little bit more, let me know because I can do that.
Well, what I'm thinking is, for now, since I've got my rage and that makes me so resistant to damage, I'm gonna just try to get my hit points up and take point for as long as I can, which is relatively decent survivability, considering I'm only 2nd level. And then when it's time, then I can definitely tag either you or Hames in.
And I'm pretty good on hit points too. If I can use my hit die and my second wind, that gives me pretty close to max if I roll well.
Well, let's head back, get our things set up. Have a
All
bite
right.
to eat and a bit to drink, and see where the day takes us.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily. It's not a full rest, so you can just go ahead and snack on whatever. You don't have to
Sure.
expend an entire ration and resource. So you head back into the barracks/odd
So
chambers
I
that
roll
you.
2 dice for my hit points.
If you're using, what is it, second wind or whatever?
I
One
use
moment.
second wind, and doesn't everybody expend a hit die and they can get their hit points?
Let me read the details on second wind.
So I roll 1d12 and add my Constitution modifier, correct?
Okay, second wind does not work. Second wind simply restores 1d10 plus your fighter level, and it doesn't touch your hit dice. So you can actually just go back and use 1d10. You can use second wind before you rest to regain 1d10 plus your fighter level, so 1d10 plus 2. And then during the rest, expend your hit dice. Or 1 hit die, and then use second wind again afterwards, because you regain it after a short rest. Up to you. Unless you want to keep one of those in reserve just in case you hit a fight. Just throwing the options out there for you.
To answer your question, Alex, yes, it would be 1 die 12 plus your con bonus.
Thank you.
So if I expend hit die, it's 1d. Mine is 1d10 plus hit die while the rest.
Yeah, if you're expending hit dice during the short rest, you can expend up to 2d10, but you can decide to just spend 1 and see how it does, and then the other. And I think it's
Okay,
what,
but
1d10 plus con bonus? Like you just said?
Yeah, it's plus con bonus.
Yeah. Let me look back into the main and get the dice up because I forgot.
So I get, if I spend, I get
So you get used.
back.
Yeah, well, you got 7 back from your second wind.
No, I got
And- Wait.
9 back from second wind because
Oh,
it's
9,
plus
yeah.
fighter.
No, I was scrolled up. That's what. Yeah, I scrolled up. That was what happened. And then 4 back from your
Best
next.
For the first one, I got 5, not 4, because I forgot to add the plus 3, not plus 2.
Okay, so 5. So yeah, so you got 14 back between those two.
And did I do the channel divinity healing before I rest at the end of the day? I think I did.
You used it. Yeah, you used it during the
Yeah, I
fight.
used it. So it'll just reset after. If we're resting more than once, I'll use it in between, but if not, don't.
You cut out on me on that.
But if not, don't worry.
Can we rest twice so I can use second wind and get back up to full?
If you want to hang around and do 2 short rests in a row,
I will use that trinket of mine, the pipe that blows bubbles.
all right. So you guys have retreated. Go ahead and set up a kind of minor little camp, just to kind of hang out in there for a while. It's really gloomy and really creepy down there. The constant droning of that chanting goes on and on while you're resting. And nothing really happens during that first rest. Do you want to continue for a second short rest, so to speak? I
I'm
think
good
you
for
can.
hit
I
points.
think you can
3
do
down.
that.
I'm good.
If you're only 3 down, you may as well try and get some use out of that, because if you're only 3 down, you got a minimum of 3 back from that second wind.
Yeah.
So just continue on after that first short rest, then.
Yeah, we might as well. We gotta remember that right here with the pink skull we've drawn on the map there, that's the deadfall trap.
Yes, it is.
All right. So where do you go now that you've rested?
Well, my suggestion is that since this area is trapped, I'm thinking there might be something desirable in this area.
Or the homeowners were just jerks.
Or that, but there is a non-zero chance that something here might contain something pretty for us to use, or maybe our objective.
This is true.
Alright, well, barring any
The
objections,
sound
I
got
think
louder over there, too.
barring any objections, I think we'll head to this corridor right here.
If there's something big there, we might as well fight it before we use up all our resources.
All right. Ping it again while I'm looking. Okay. All right. So you go ahead around the long way. I'm assuming that
Yeah,
you
we're going
circle
around
around the trap. Yes. All right. And so you head down this corridor. This double. It's got a short stairway that doubles around, and then it doubles around, or then you see another steeper stairway going down further into the darkness below. The ghostly chants are obviously coming up from this area, and they're getting a little bit louder. I mean, it's like really obvious that they're coming from somewhere down below.
So Stairway to Darkness instead of Stairway to Heaven.
I'm good with it.
Something in the hedgerow.
I'm just going to kind of sketch in some steps. I'm terrible at this. There we go. Alright, so you just, who takes lead going down the stairs, because there's only enough room for one person at a time.
That'll be me.
Single file down those stairs.
I'll take the point.
Alright. And, let me go ahead and start sketching again. Oops. God damn it. Really? Seriously, game? Hold on. And I, of course, had the wrong layer selected. All of this time. Alright. Let me go ahead and start. Let me start mapping this again. These stairs continue down for approximately 20 feet, come to a short 10-foot landing, and then turn immediately right before another staircase goes down another 20 feet. It opens up into a larger chamber. Just one moment. This chamber has a few exits in it. All of them along one wall. The ghostly chanting that's been going on this entire time while you've been down here really becomes more distinct. It fills this entire chamber. You can discern approximately a dozen or so voices chanting over and over again. He is the ancient. He is the land. Just over and over repeating. You see several niches along the wall. In fact, pretty much every 5-foot area that's not a corridor has a niche in it. There are 13 niches in all.
Oh, there. Sorry, my sound went out for a second. I thought it was all very quiet for a few minutes. And it is very quiet, after all.
Yeah. So, let me just go ahead and freehand this because it's so much faster. Stairways going down here. Stairways going down here. And then I believe both of the exits also... No, only one of the exits has... Neither of the exits has a stairway. Okay. One of them does have a ramp, though. This one over here kind of has a ramp going down that you can see. So what do you guys do?
What's in the niches along the
Okay,
wall?
the niches are kind of shadowed and dark. They seem to have various objects settled on small stone, like stone platforms in each one. So, do you just go through and look through them
Shine
all?
bullseye lights on them.
Yeah, let's get some light
Okay.
on them and just have a look at them.
All right.
Good idea. I can
You go
cast a
ahead.
cantrip, light.
On each one, go ahead.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, you cast light in there. All right, you see a variety
Let me
of
get the name of
items.
it, just to make sure we got it right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure light is what it
Yeah,
is.
light is the name of it. Object produces 10 feet bright light, 10 feet
Yeah.
dim light.
Okay. And you can move it around?
It's just an object I cast it on.
Oh,
so,
just as an object to cast on. So
yeah,
you cast
so I
it
cast
on...
it on a stick, and we have a reusable torch.
Okay, just... You've got one in your inventory, right?
And it lasts for 1 hour, so...
Okay,
I
I'm just
cast
saying
it
the
on
item
my
that you
mace.
casted on it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I can even cast it. So.
cast it on your mace or whatever? Alright. In the first of the niches, you see a
Cast it
small...
on I'll cast it on a torch so I can stow that and still smash people if I have to. That way I'm not, the beacon that hit me everyone.
Alright. You see a small, mummified yellow hand with sharp claws, very much smaller than a human hand, on a loop of rope in one of the niches. In the next niche over, you see a knife carved from human bone. The next niche over has a dagger with a rat skull set into the pommel. One further over, you see an 8-inch diameter varnished orb that looks almost organic. The next one over has an aspergillum carved from bone. I've probably mispronounced that. The next one over has a folded cloak, which looks like it's made from some sort of humanoid skin. There is a desiccated frog lashed to a stick in one of them. There is a bag full of something in another of the niches. In one of the niches, you see a severed, withered finger with a long, clawed nail. In the next niche, you see a 6-inch tall wooden figure of a mummy, arms crossed over its chest. Next, you see an iron pendant adorned with the devil's face. A 6-inch wooden figurine of a mummy, its arms crossed over its chest.
Got it.
Alright, the next one, you see an iron pendant adorned with the devil's face. In the next one, you see the shrunken, shriveled head of a halfling. And in the next one, you see a small wooden coffer currently closed. The southern tunnel slopes down at a 20-degree angle into what looks like murky water, and there's a rusty portcullis at the barring you from the water there.
Well, none of that is disturbing at all.
I'm thinking all the stuff around the wall here, these really weird-looking objects. Hang on a sec.
Hey, Jared, say something. I don't think I could hear you that time.
Well, I did comment that none of this stuff was disturbing at all. It all seems
I'm only
perfectly
hearing him
normal.
off yours. It's very weird.
He's talking through Roll20. Did
Yeah,
you
I
mute
have
him on Roll20?
No, he's not muted on Roll20. I only have him muted on...
Try refreshing Roll20, John.
Yeah, let me do that.
Okay.
Sorry, she's still doing a monologue here.
That's cool. So while we're waiting on Alex to finish that, do the rest of you have any decent ideas on what to do?
Well, I'm going to try detecting magic and see if any of the objects are magical. At the very least, I don't know if we're going to want to use them anyway, just based on their composition.
Yeah.
But it's still worthwhile to know if they are magical.
I can hear you now.
Okay. So, yeah, and this is why we're not using Roll20 solid, is because it had a tendency to cut out after a while. Bellet goes ahead and casts his Detect Magic, and then he walks forward, scanning the room, and he detects no magic within that room. And my chair is sucking again tonight, but we'll handle it.
That's actually comforting. I'd rather they not be magical.
So they're not magical, they're just weird looking.
They're just creepy and weird.
Maybe let's leave them there.
Well, it looks like that frog croaked. Huh? Huh?
Can I stick a pencil in Hannibal's ear while he's not looking?
That'll make it a lot harder for me to remember to heal you.
And it'll also make it a lot harder for you to continue making these terrible puns.
I'll have you know, puns are the highest form of humor. They're up there with the opera.
So we've got the southern entrance with the ramp and the portcullis.
Right.
And northern entrance that looks like it actually goes somewhere that isn't water.
Right, and it kind of turns around out of sight at that point.
My vote's for the northern entrance. To the north!
All right, so you follow along to the north?
Mm-hmm. Javik in front.
All right. It extends another 10-15 feet before turning immediately to the west. Sorry, I'm still fucked up over this entire map. And then come on, machine, let me do this. No. Yeah, my apologies here. Easy mapping this does not provide. Go ahead and sketch something out real quick. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And then more of this. Boom, boom, and... Oh, this goes all the way across this time. Da-da-da-da. Alright, you head to the western passage after the northern and then the western passage in order. You see a long, what looks like a block of prison cells. They're basically each of these alcoves here has a set of shackles against the back wall. You see a actually there's not the usual bones littering the room that you'd expect. They actually got rid of the bodies, it looks like, rather than just letting them sit there and decay. And in the classic dungeon kind of room. There's rusty shackles. There is a single human skeleton in one of these cells. But other than that, this place looks pretty empty.
Which cell has the skeleton in it?
One moment. This one has the human skeleton still shackled against the back wall.
Anything else of note in that cell, or is it just a skeleton hanging from shackles?
Just a skeleton. It's a skeleton in a tattered black robe. Do you approach it?
I mean, it's shackled to the wall. Why not? I'll prod it with my club.
Go ahead and prod it with your club. It falls apart. You see a glint of gold on one of the fingers.
Ooh. I'm going to take the finger off of the hand.
Just pull it off.
Right off.
It's got a gold ring on it.
I'm gonna wiggle it in front of Bellic's face and be like, "Hey, is this magic?" Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I will do my thing with the magic spell of detect magic.
You don't detect any magic from the ring.
Just gold.
Then I put the finger and ring into my pocket.
Keeping the finger. All right.
It's my lucky finger
Was
ring.
it crest? Did it have a crest or anything on it?
Yeah, assuming this is just a plain gold band.
It is just a plain gold band.
Is it a plain gold band that you suddenly feel like you have to keep forever? And maybe you can throw it in fire.
That
it might
is
do horrible
important.
things?
Anything like that going on?
No, nothing like that going on.
Actually, you know what? Oh, my hands are too big anyway.
Okay, so what do you do?
Doesn't look like there's a whole lot here. You know what's actually interesting me is that ramp in the portcullis. Back at the south entrance of the room we were just in.
We can check each of the 13 things and see if those lead to a different area.
And those are all just kind of weird items.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You know what I'd like to
could lead
do?
to a secret passage.
Maybe. I mean, I don't want to go messing around with these weird profane items. I mean, already confirmed not to be magical, but
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's
know.
it's not like an intact corpse we can defile by stealing pieces of it. They're just weird.
Yeah, who steals pieces of a corpse, right? As I slowly pat my pocket with the finger and ring on it. You know what? Let's go to the that ramp in portcullis and see what we can do about that.
Peer into the room.
Yeah, let's have a look down. I mean,
Good.
if the water just goes into this giant Hang on, another monologue here.
All right. You head across into the back into the niche chamber, and then down the ramp into the towards the portcullis to peer through it. The chanting stops suddenly as you peer through the portcullis. Portcullis opens into a large water-filled room. A room which I'm going to sketch out.
Any idea, just from the sight of it, how to gauge the depth of the water, or do we have absolutely no clue from where we're
You
standing?
have no clue from where you're standing. But give me one moment.
Strange things lurk in the water, man.
Yes, I think so.
While you're doing that, Rav,
Yeah?
when I hear the chanting stop, can I cast a spell?
Certainly.
Excellent.
spell
I'm
do
going
you
to cast my false life spell.
Okay.
Your what spell?
False life. It's
False
the
life.
temporary. It's the temporary hit point one, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Right. Just give me one moment.
So when you cast false life, someone's going to run up there and go, "That's not real life. You're a phony. You're a phony." Or does it not work that way?
Pretend
As
it's
long
an
as it
even
fits the weapon,
octagon.
like-
Alright, this tunnel is blocked by a rusty iron portcullis. You can see through it. You can maybe raise it, you're not sure. The water is certainly only ankle deep right there. Beyond, you can see a ritual chamber, it appears. As stated, it's a much larger room, mostly filled with water in the center. There is a ledge running around the outside. The smooth masonry walls provide excellent acoustics for the chanting that had been going on before. Featureless stone pillars support the ceiling far above, and a breach in the west wall leads to a dark cave heaped with refuse. Murky water covers most of the floor, offering little indication as to how deep it may be. Stairs lead up to a dry stone ledge that hugs the outer wall. In the middle of the room, more stairs rise to form an octagonal dais that also rises above the water. Rusty chains with shackles dangle from the ceiling directly above a stone altar mounted on the dais. The altar is carved with hideous depictions of grasping ghouls and is stained with dried blood.
Some kind of sacrificial chamber or something.
That family was into some really weird stuff.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Such pleasant decor. I'll have to remember to compliment the owner when we meet him.
well,
I mean,
we already
granted, maybe they just
Final
observed their
resting place.
ritual death demon cult on Christmas and Easter, but
Okay, Javic's gonna grab hold of the portcullis and assume the proper posture and try to deadlift that thing up to the ceiling.
Make an athletics check.
Do I have an advantage on athletics? Is that my thing? I seem to remember that.
No,
being
we
one
already
thing.
went through. It's just a flat
did we?
proficiency.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just we've been through this. It's just a
I
proficiency.
mean, my
bonus.
passive is 15. Is that good enough
Yeah.
to just crank that thing
No.
open?
No,
Oh
it's
dear.
not.
Oh dear. All right, here we go. That's a 14.
All right. You go ahead and try to
Is it
haul it
wide
up.
enough that we can both try it together?
Um,
Or do you try it first.
No, there is only room really for one person, especially when that one person is Java.
Yeah, I kind of fill a room.
And yeah, he
I'm
tries,
straining
but it doesn't.
It ain't
Yeah,
moving.
it does not lift. No.
All right, well, Bellic, I loosened it up for you. You want to give her a go?
Ames,
Does there appear to be a locking mechanism or anything?
There does not appear to be a locking mechanism in sight, no.
you dropped out, Rav. I can't hear you at all.
There does not appear to be there does not appear to be a locking mechanism in sight at all on the thing. Did you hear me then?
I heard you both times.
I heard you each time. Dan, did you hear him?
I heard him the second time.
Okay.
So, Bellic, you want to give this a shot for us? Now that I got her all loosened up for you.
Does Bellic want to give the portcullis a try?
Sure.
All right. Make that athletics check.
I'll give it a try if he can't.
I'll cheer them on. Yay, hurrah.
That is a deception check.
You cannot deceive the portcullis into opening.
Sorry,
Oh man, but did you ever roll well?
athletics is right above deception on the character sheet.
Yeah.
I must
Just
have
click
fat fingered
the
it.
wrong one.
Can we say for flavor that the portcullis
Um,
briefly believes itself to be well
Could I still
oiled
use
and
the base
opens?
roll?
What's the base roll?
18. And
Okay,
then
so what-
my strength is a +3, so that'd be a 21.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, you go ahead and grab that portcullis, and it's really heavy, but you manage to scrape it open enough for people to pass under.
Well, let's go in.
All right, you go ahead and start heading in. Just kind of hustling in while he bears it up on one shoulder.
Yeah, why not?
Once inside, you do see, half embedded in the east wall, is a wooden wheel that the east wall being this one. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that probably operates the portcullis from the inside.
I'll walk over and wheel it up.
Give it a turn. Yeah. It's really difficult at first, but eventually gets easier and easier, and then the portcullis does raise up.
So we're all in, all accounted for. No one got squished by the portcullis.
That's how it seems.
All right.
My vote is sticking to the outside of the chamber, where the strange murky water doesn't surround the sacrificial altar.
I'm in agreement with this. I will support Jovak.
I will support him too.
All right. So where do you go?
I am more interested in the cave full of refuse. I'd like to discern the nature of said refuse.
Okay, you head over there
Yep.
and pretend that's in the right color. Can I switch it? Can I switch it? Yep. And the refuse is it's a strange. It looks like a strange mix of rotting vegetation and trash, mixed with some decaying meat.
Just a big pile of junk right in the middle of this little cave thing.
Looks like. Do you want to examine it in more detail?
How tall is this pile?
This pile is half submerged.
You...
You do have to get in the water to actually walk into that cave, because like it's the same depth right here. The water itself is 2 feet deep. The ledges are 3 foot over the water as you're walking around, and it looks like the chains that are dangling from the ceiling all around are 8 foot tall or 8 foot long. So when you actually look at the half-submerged pile of refuse, it's actually about as tall as a human being, so you can see over the edge. Does anyone want to examine it to just kind of figure out what it is?
I'm not sure if we really want to get in the water.
Can we say it is a house for an animal or something?
I mean,
You don't know from where you're at.
you could say that.
want
We're
to-
not sure if you'd be right.
You'd have to get a little bit closer to identify it.
We're gonna send the barbarian in to poke at it. Is that
You
what
want
you're
to use my glaive to poke at it?
thinking? Hey, hook me up with that glaive.
I
Okay.
pass you my glaive and says, "Be careful, I want it back."
So Hames passes Javak the glaive.
I very uncarefully start prodding at the pile of
Okay.
garbage there.
Do you want to give it a look? See what to beforehand?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got,
like like if I can take a look at it from the distance that
You
I
got
am,
nature?
certain its nature. I mean, it's on my character sheet somewhere.
You
I'm
can
sure.
from right here, right? Make a nature check. Make an intelligence nature check.
Oh, that'll go over swimmingly. Nature. Ooh, got a -1 on that one. Let's see how we do here.
Can I take
Four.
a look at it and look from the opposite corner?
Which corner? Ping it. Okay. Yeah, from there you can make a nature check as you walk up with Javak.
I get a 4.
Yeah, Javak ain't, it looks like a rotting garbage.
Looks like
Yeah.
garbage, guys.
I'll hang out on the platform while they're doing all this.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ping
I'm
where you're
staying
hanging
up
out.
here too. Just saying, in case something inside the garbage starts trying to eat them.
Okay. Hames does not identify what this thing is besides being rotting vegetation. You poke it with the glaive, and it
Sure.
seems to have a very thick consistency, almost as if the entire mound of trash, that mound of decaying refuse, was just one solid congealed lump.
So almost as though it were a actual giant pile of refuse.
Right.
Okay.
Has been sitting here long enough to basically fuse together.
I think we're just sitting here poking garbage, boys.
Do we check out the center altar?
I have absolutely no interest to go into a blood-stained octagonal altar surrounded by blood and water and with chains suspended above it. Not really my thing.
It's a good thought.
What do you guys say? We got 2 more unexplored passages on that upper level. We maybe go and have a poke
Yeah, we
around
might
those.
find who's chanting if we keep searching.
You no longer hear chanting. It stopped as soon as you entered the room.
Yeah, it's coming from.
I'm going to examine the altar from where I am without approaching it any further, if I can.
Ping where you're at. Okay. Like in the water?
I thought that this was the raised area.
No, the raised area is on the
No,
outer
the
edge.
raised area is this area. Okay.
Well then, in that case, I will be here.
Alright. The altar looks like a sacrificial altar. It is carved with various ghoulish faces along the edges. Looks like claws reaching out. In fact, a lot of these creatures look similar to the ones that you'd fought in the tunnels above. It's got long blood-stained, long dried blood stains all over it. In fact, there's quite a few knife marks along the surface because you are raised up above it. Quite a few knife marks along the surface as well.
This is where they sacrifice people to their dark god. Cool. Javik is made uneasy by this and wishes to leave. Anyone else got input?
I feel like this is where the chanting was coming from, given that
This
it
is
stopped
definitely.
when we left, when we came in.
Not only that, but you heard it coming from this room right before you entered, and then boom, it stopped.
Well,
The-
I mean,
the-
I've got one more idea, and it's not a very fun one. For
You're
me.
not sacrificing any of us.
Nope. I'm gonna go up on the altar and see what I can see from there.
Okay. So Javak heads to the altar. Everybody else, where are you?
Do I have the glaive back?
Yeah, I toss him the glaive before I head over
So
there.
this is
I'm on the ledge as well.
that's where Bellic is. God damn it! Hold on a second. Why can I not? Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
Hey, I can make a
know
little
it.
5x5 token of myself.
Yeah, in fact, everybody just draw a circle or whatever in your color to represent where you are.
There's me.
No, don't use the token image. I don't have clearance for that.
Alright.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where I doubt it would ever become a problem, but I don't want to take that chance.
Okay, the shape has to be something that you can select with one click and move.
Yeah, the shape has to be something that you can drag around. So if you're going to use like multiple little clicks, just remember you're going to be the one that's dragging it around to show where you're at. Okay. Alright, we set?
Yep.
Yep.
As Javak moves up onto the altar, the chanting once more rises as 13 dark apparitions appear on the ledges overlooking the room. In fact, one of them appears right inside of Hannibal, overlapping him. He doesn't look any worse for the wear for it. Each one resembles a black-robed figure, in fact resembling the robes you saw on the skeleton and the robes you saw in the chests upstairs. Each one seems to be holding a ghostly torch, casting an eerie blue light. The fire itself is black, and actually, when you're looking at it, it's like the shadows are in kind of a... It's like looking at the negative of a picture, where the... Instead of like casting light beyond the flame, it actually gets darker in that area. Where you'd expect to see faces are merely blank voids. They begin to chant over and over again. One must die. One must die. One must die. It just gets louder and louder for a short period of time before just maintaining that volume.
I think you can
Javak.
get down now.
Javak, they are all staring at you pretty much with their voidless faces. Everywhere you, like from where Javak is, no matter where he turns, there's just void in these robes because they're all facing him.
I feel pretty safe up here, guys.
I don't know. I think they might do something to sacrifice you if you don't move. And also concerning my location of one of the ghosts. Ah, hell no! I'm gonna move just a little bit.
Okay, just move to wherever you need to be.
Picasso.
Okay, so where the rest of you guys, or what the rest of you guys do?
I'm incapable of moving my own token for some reason. But I can spin it on its axis. What the hell is this?
I'm going to delete it, and you can redo it. Everybody else seems to be moving theirs. Did you have... You must have had, like, the wrong selection on. Okay. So what do you guys do?
If they're saying one must die, I am going to at least attempt to move myself over here.
Okay. As you walk off of the altar, their chanting changes. Instead, they start chanting, Lorgoth the Decayer, we awaken thee. Lorgoth the Decayer, we awaken thee. Over and over, with a strange slurping and gurgling sound. The mound of rotting mass in the cave begins to move. Everybody, roll initiative.
I think this is what we came here for.
Well, that answers a few questions.
Entirely possible.
I got
You
a
don't have
6. Just slash roll 1d20 plus whatever your initiative modifier is.
0.
God damn it, machine. Why do you do this to me? Ah, no. Give me a
Alex,
moment.
you
I'm...
do a blank token.
No, you just draw a shape.
While you're getting set up, I'm just going to run to the kitchen real quick.
Okay. One moment, let me go ahead and jot these down real quick.
Yeah, I'm sensing trouble for our intrepid heroes.
I just need Bellick's initiative. Or did he roll it and I just scrolled up? Yeah, I was just scrolled up, my bad. I have no idea why it does it. It just randomly
I think we're
scrolls
all
up
here.
from time to time. Yep. Okay, Hames, you are the first to see this creature kind of just rising up and up and up until it's standing kind of taller than Javak. It looks like a rotted mass of plant matter with tendrils kind of forming kind of almost like a viney face and long arms just made of wound and coiled vines. The rotting meat is actually incorporated into the beast. It looks not humanoid, but definitely more animal than plant in terms of form. Just made of plants mostly. It is large. It is really big. You'd estimate it standing approximately 10 feet, and it's almost as wide. What do you do? You can try to identify it with a nature check if you've got nature. Or if you've already failed.
I
This
can't
is Hames.
try now that since it's
Yeah, because you already failed, yeah.
Okay, can you hear me, guys? Anyone?
Yeah, I can hear you
Yep.
now.
Can you
I
hear
can
me?
hear.
There we go. Now I can hear you again. It went out from. I'm gonna try it again, Dan.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear him through Roll20
No.
or through Discord either. But the fact that he's in the same room helps.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah.
I can hear you, yeah.
I can hear you fine.
All of a sudden we're having another technical difficulty. Oh, gee. Also, before we go ahead and get into this combat...
It's something's going on with Discord. I can hear everyone through Roll20, not Discord. Let me...
All right, wait. Right now we're going to take a break anyway.
Good idea.
Because it's been the hour mark. So let's take a 10-minute break and sort this shit out.